hive cluster is under attack.
Live for the swarm.
Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remaster. Today it's going to be SOULKEY, ASL 17 champion versus TaeNgGu here on Blitz Y, which is a very weird map in the new map pool. Top right is going to be TaeNgGu, our blue Terran player, and bottom right, again, ASL champion SOULKEY. Two-time in a row ASL champion. He is playing so well recently. Moving up in the ranks, in my estimation here, of all-time greatest Zerg players, and all-time players as well, regardless of race. So, this is Blitz Y. You know that, because it's a top right spawn here on a base platform, right? Right. So the left side of the map here just contains expansions that feature gas and minerals, and mineral-only expansions, and let's see, I think in ASL qualifiers I saw TY build a factory over here in a TVZ, and no reason to scout over here as Zerg, right? Just send the Overlord straight down or straight up, because it's a two-player map, and caught the other Zerg off guard with a random vulture or two. So I feel like this map has some potential for weird stuff. Anyway, this is another RJB replay. Check him out, youtube.com/@RJB_TV. Follow him, subscribe to him, hit the like button on his videos, leave him a comment, say Falcon sent ya. Boom, 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 boom. And that's first in it here is SOULKEY at 11 supply. Barracks and supply depot walling off the front of the natural for TaeNgGu. So TaeNgGu is not an ASL champion, but he is an up-and-coming Terran player who is on the rise. So I want to see how he does here against SOULKEY. And this is a DEFCON 1 replay from RJB. So basically that means that TaeNgGu does not get raffle stomped. And based on the length of this replay, and judging by the length of this replay, I feel like that is true. So, sending out a drone on this two-player map. All right. Fair enough, I guess. It's a hard wall. He sees two supply depots and a barracks. Steve the SCV sees an extractor and a pool. So speedlings are on the way, but I don't know. Getting through a hard wall as a Zergling, even with your friends here, is a pretty big deal and pretty hard to do. But we will see. We will see if this gas is for lair or if it's for speed. Yeah, it's for lair. No speedlings early. Yeah, that's the current meta, right? First 100 gas. Speedlings can wait. Let's go ahead and get to a lair so we have Mutalisks as early as possible. Expansion being thrown down here by TaeNgGu. Gas being taken here by TaeNgGu. And I don't know, so far so good. I mean, these slowlings aren't going to be able to kill Steve the SCV. He's just too jukey and too fast and can change direction too quickly, etc., etc. And metabolic boost is on the way from SOULKEY. Let's not worry about it, friends. Got ourselves an academy and an engineering bay. So we're going for a +1, some kind of attack here for the infantry. Because that timing for an engineering bay is not just so I can get turrets up to try to deal with the Mutalisks. We're trying to get a +1 attack fast here. And that's part of the job of these lings, is to see, when is the Marine push coming? When are these Marines and medics and maybe Firebats going to move out? Because if I need to throw down Sunkens, I have to do it before they start, before they're halfway across the map. It's too late for that. But yeah, again, weird map, right? Because look, right outside your front door, you have this ramp leading up to kind of this giant causeway that takes you directly to the enemy base. But the problem is, it gets really narrow at points, so you can set tanks and Marines in here or lurkers in here, and it's really tough to get through. You can expand to this base, but then you've got high ground to contend with. Man, was it SOULKEY versus Snow in ASL 17? There was an insane ZVP on this map. I wish I could get ASL replays. I would have loved to have cast that game, but I think they mined the entire map out, maybe with the exception of this one, because it's so hard to hold. Right? It's so hard to actually hold this base when you can put High Templar here and storm this, or siege tanks here, or lurkers here, and just it's a worker's nightmare to try to be in this position. But it was the last base available, and all the resources were extremely valuable because you got this stuff too, which again, actually you can't high ground here, but high grounding here is pretty effective with the tank. Putting a High Templar right here and going Stormity, Storm, Storm, Storm is pretty good too. Anyway, Blitz Y. Weird map, man. So +1 infantry is on the way. Stim is on the way. Spire coming in. Ooh, nice pick off on a Marine there. Can't really complain about that. Scan says, oh, what's that you're making, Mutalisks? How adorable. SOULKEY is going for a flyer attack upgrade. Big fan of a flyer attack upgrade for mutas. You can get a lot of good stuff done with a bunch of mutas. That +1 attack really benefits them with their glaive worm bouncing attack, which was the coolest thing in the world, I think, to 16, maybe 15-year-old me when I was reading about StarCraft in the gaming magazines or on gaming websites when they were talking about some of the different stuff there. And one of the things they introduced kind of early was the concept of the Mutalisk. And they're like, this attack, it hits, but then it goes bounce, bounce, and does less attack damage after each bounce, but it's still this very cool mechanic. And I remember telling my friends about this in high school, and they were like, whoa, that was the coolest thing I ever heard. And then the game came out, and I never stopped playing it because StarCraft is the best. All right, what do we got here? Bonk, 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 bonk. 6 mutas. Gotta have more than this. Yeah, 3 more are coming in. You're investing in the +1 attack. You cannot just make 5 or 6 mutas. That's an utter waste. Waste of your time, friends. Ah, muta does go down, but picking off Marines. Lings jumping in here too. If you're distracted by these mutas, maybe we can kill the supply depot, and the Marines are like, hey, get off our lawn. Yeah, just kind of muta harassing the front here. I guess there are like 4 or 5 turrets inside the main. That's going to be tough to bust if you have mutas. Third base, bottom left side, is up and running from SOULKEY and does get scouted. Good comsat there from TaeNgGu. So, it looks like TaeNgGu with his 4 racks is going for an SK Terran style here, but he can add tanks if he wants. If SOULKEY's going to go for that Hydra style, adding tanks is probably what he wants to do. If not, I'm not sure that he has to. It's just going to be things like Lings and Ultras and maybe some Lurkers and stuff with Dark Swarm. Still nice to have the siege tanks against those units, but we don't see it as much from the Terran perspective. There's a stim, and going up that ramp is so hard because you can't see up the ramp. See how you're just like, there are mutas fluttering up here, but how many are there? Where are they? There they are. And can't quite 2-volley down a turret yet. God, losing a Mutalisk in the process. Another muta goes down. Another muta goes down. That turret, oh, that missile hit took out that really injured muta as part of this flock. That's just bad luck. That's just bad luck for SOULKEY. You can't target individual mutas inside a stack like this with your turret. There's no way. So Queen's Nest coming in, looking good. Just buying time with these mutas, as you want to do. They've got the +1 now, so they're willing to kind of engage a little bit more often here than they would otherwise. But so far, 3-gassing SOULKEY. Got his Hydrodan over here, working on Lurker aspect. Queen's Nest is up, and Hive is getting started at 820. That is a pretty fast Hive. With the Nevo Chamber coming in, he wants these upgrades, so he's really... Ow, careful. Really using these mutas to great effect, and that's the problem with this map. Is to get across the map the quickest way to the enemy base, you got to come up this ramp, and that's difficult to do when there are mutas standing on top of it or Lings standing on top of it. If you want to go around, you're just asking to get run by. So TaeNgGu is kind of just forced to sit here on 2 bases for now. Can't really be happy about this at all. He knows what the Zerg player is up to. I think he's... I did hear a scan recently. I'm not sure if he scanned the main base or not, but... Irradiate is a good time to get rid of these mutas. Once they're catching Irradiates to the face, they kind of back off. Irradiate getting researched here. Mutaflock is 11. Again, if you are +1 attacking... Ow, 10. If you're +1 attacking your mutas, then yeah. You want to go ahead and have an 11 stack of them for longer than if you don't have upgrades on the mutas. It just... You got to take advantage of what you spent on that upgrade. TaeNgGu, once again, does not want to come up this ramp. Just not interested whatsoever in getting up here. +1 ground carapace gets started, and as soon as I say that, he does pop up. He manages to take the high ground. Problem is, Lurker aspect is done, and 8 Lurkers are in production. so that's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. Good scan as to where those mutas were, by the way. Macro hatch, neat. Defiler mound, of course. Look, man, it's SOULKEY. He scans here, sees lurkers, says, okay, so we can bust this now that we have science vessels, and they've got to radiate. So here goes, ba-bam, ba-bam. 2 science vessels. Reap colony coming in. Nidus Canal gonna connect the natural. So Nidus Canal 1, Nidus Canal 2. Yeah, gonna connect the natural to the 3rd. Okay, here goes nothing. Big attack into the 3rd base. That is such a narrow choke to try to engage into. No way! No way you want to go in there. You have to worry about attacks coming from this angle, though. That is a wide open area. So TaeNgGu trying really hard to get... Oh, never mind. Busting in. There are lurkers and sunkens here, though, but good target firing. Lurkers die. Lurkers pop out of the Nidus. There you go. 5 of them on that right side. TaeNgGu just wiping out a couple drones, though. Getting behind this mineral line, staying out of the range of these lurkers. And then getting jumped on a little bit. The mutas have to go home and try to deal with this. And they do help get rid of the Marines behind the mineral line. A couple mutas died in the process, but they did their job. So TaeNgGu does stop all mining here at the natural base for a minute, plus a couple drones died. It's 34 drones to 39 SCVs. And these lings are here to make sure if a 3rd base comes up from TaeNgGu around this way, then they know about it. 3rd base here, there you go. Turk into 3rd base here, which is nice. All you really got to defend as far as ground position goes is here. To defend your 3rd base and your natural, but also, Muta flock. Muta stack shows up, ruins everybody's day here. TaeNgGu cannot be happy about that. Economic delay down here, and an economic delay over here. Tit for tat at this stage. Some Marines, okay, some Marines tried to come through here and died immediately, which is why these lurkers have like 5 kills apiece. Okay, fair enough. That was not what you wanted to have happen with those Marines, I'm sure, TaeNgGu. Plague's on the way. Consume is done. I mean, Adrenal's on the way here, too. This is looking rough, like extraordinarily rough for TaeNgGu. But again, it's SOULKEY. He's not going to make it easy on you. He's not going to just... Ooh, good Irradiate and not Defiler. Gets a Dark Swarm up. He's not going to make it easy on you, so don't ask. If you beat him, it's going to be because you played well, not because he played poorly. At least not recently. Man, Scourge connecting. No good control there. No connection on those science vessels at all. 3rd base getting replanted same place as before from TaeNgGu. Yeah, I mean, we are SK Terraning. I was going to say that, but then a siege tank is on the way, and there's siege mode coming in too. So, no, actually, not going straight SK Terran at all. Adding tanks in, which is going to make every Terran fan watching this very happy. Because, yeah, it really seems like SK Terran is better before Dark Swarm and Plague start coming out. And we are past that point now. I mean, look, the reason SK Terran is so popular is because Flash makes it look really good. And the key to that is keeping your science vessels alive. Good object lesson there, TaeNgGu. Losing a science vessel to do Scourge for effectively nothing, which is pretty bad news, Bears. Oh, it just consumes a bunch of Zerglings. Might as well, yep, gonna toss up a Dark Swarm and die. Might as well get some value for your life, sir. Now, this is not close enough. I don't think you can put a tank here and fire on this, but either way, you'll notice the buildings aren't right up against the edge here from SOULKEY anyway. Scan, scan. Metasynaptic node on the way. Radiate, irradiate. Okay, good. Dark Swarm used before you die. Might as well get a beautiful spell off. Big old Maynard transfer down here to the 3rd base from TaeNgGu. And he's just featuring siege tanks in his comp here. It's not a lot of siege tanks. It's going to be some. Going to be some siege tanks. And might as well Dark Swarm it, man. You're going to get irradiated. Ready? pop? Oh, no. Good micro. Oh, Science Vessel's like, we must get this guy. And we're going to die for it. But hey. Worth? I don't know. I think that was a bad move, honestly, by TaeNgGu. Because the Dark Swarms are up. I mean, killing a Defiler is pretty sweet. You're willing to trade one Science Vessel for one Defiler? I don't think that's sustainable as a Terran player. That's way too much of a trade. Okay, catching another Defiler. I mean, this is very sneaky Science Vessel stuff here. They're coming in from weird angles. They're assassinating Defilers before they can really accomplish much of anything. Fourth base is up in this position from SOULKEY. You saw that with your own eyes, though. And a fourth base coming up for TaeNgGu in the top left. So map control technically belongs to the Terran player here. And it is the more Hydra-heavy comp from SOULKEY, as we see. He's not turning these into lurkers. So yeah, siege tanks are going to be great. They are going to be worth their weight in gold here. So giving them upgrades would be nice. It's just, man, busting through this narrow choke's friggin' impossible. He tries. Okay, catches a couple lurker, one lurker before he gets into Dark Swarm, and then backs out. So TaeNgGu is just here for incremental victories is what he's trying to do right now. Just trying, you know, to get a win here and there. Oh, pull it back to the tanks. There you go, siege tanks. Lurker's not in a position to take damage inside the Dark Swarm from these tanks. If they were on the right side and the tanks are over here, you would. It's a weird, weird thing, but SOULKEY probably is aware of that, and therefore is not going to put his tanks in that relative position to the edges of the Dark Swarm. Let's see, what are we talking about here? I guess quick plug is fire bats are added into the mix for the Falcon Paladin Sunday stream. You want to check that out. Fire bats in the mix. Marines here, 2 siege tanks firing away. I mean, we do get... Ooh, fire bats getting wiped out. Nice Plague-oo! Sick Plague. We get games from players like SOULKEY and TaeNgGu and DeWalt and Killer and all sorts of great dudes as part of the Sunday stream, including viewer-submitted replays for fastest map, 1v1s, 2v2s, big game hunters type stuff that I don't really put on the channel itself all that much, but check it out. The nice thing is that I timestamp the VODs. So after it's over, I go back through and I timestamp the Sunday stream so you can find the stuff you're interested in. If you don't care about FME, you can ignore it, right? And if you really love FME, you can find the FMEs. Anyway, SOULKEY, Ling Muta Hydra saying, no, TaeNgGu, get out of here. This position is not for you, friend. And it's not. Oh, these mutas are direct engaging with the Science Vessels a little bit. I guess if you can make it so that one Scourge is enough to kill a Science Vessel, that's probably worth. Oh, these poor medics just healing themselves while getting constantly damaged. So here's the problem for SOULKEY. He's on 4 bases, but guess what? TaeNgGu's on 4 bases too. He needs to put these guys to work. Did the replay break? Are we floating cash? Are we not spending it on anything? Are we not putting SCVs to work? Uh-oh. TaeNgGu! Dude! No, it has to be. It has to be busted. All right, let's rewind it a little bit. See if we can get it fixed here. Let's try a little bit further. Okay. So let's see what happens. These Hydras, yeah, so we didn't actually see this engagement. But we saw the after effects of it. I was talking about this choke, and then that happened. So these guys bust in. Players are still floating a bunch of cash here, but they're spending too. Okay, gets out, attacks. A little bit inside the Dark Swarm. Yeah, backs it out again. There aren't any SCVs over here, so I'm wondering if we did fix it. After all, maybe we went back far enough here. Dropship's on the way from TaeNgGu. You know how Falcon feels about drops and how they really are always pretty effective. I mean, unless your drop just gets absolutely obliterated, right? You send like 3 dropships full of fire bats into the Zerg base and Scourge just kill all of them before anything happens. Yeah. Let's try to avoid that. So this SCV's working. These SCVs are coming across. Let's see if they go to work or not. Fire bats. Yep, so this engagement's happening again. But a little better this time. Little better this time. Plague still goes down. A couple more units are left over here. No, the Plague does send those guys over that way. These SCVs do come over here and just kind of hang out. Oh, no. I wonder if that's just TaeNgGu screwing this up. Why would you not put them on minerals? Why would you walk them over here? Ooh. And then TaeNgGu pops in. There's the Dark Swarm. You get some good value. Bumps up this way, interestingly enough. And then just gets absolutely caught out here. No, they do swing left side. Try to get away. And then the Mutas trying to clear some stuff out here. Medics healing each other. This group gets wiped out. TaeNgGu's up 144 to 115 supply. Yeah, and then these medics get left alone. So no, I don't think the replay is broken. I just think TaeNgGu hasn't looked at this top left base in about 2 minutes. So that's not ideal. We don't like that at all. Ugh. Scans are continuing to happen here. Come on, TaeNgGu, you can do it. Put your guys to work. He's really focusing on this drop, though. So he unloads. SOULKEY is caught in wind of this. He brought some mutas into the main base. The only reason you do that... Oh, gosh. Remember when I was like, drops are always good? Oh, unless they get absolutely obliterated. Oh, my gosh. Oh, these drop ships have been plagued. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Drop ships definitely die, but the group that it unloads... Okay, not dead. Put these guys to work. TaeNgGu, you're killing me, sir. You're murdering me. Put these guys to work. You... Why? Why? Oh, plague on the incoming army. And everybody... Yeah. Hydras love plague units. They pop like balloons, they say. Yeah, man, Hydra Lurker. Who knew it was so good? Okay, TaeNgGu, buddy. What I need from you right now, I appreciate your macroing. I appreciate your controlling these guys left over in the main base. I appreciate they're all going to die. But I need you to look at your fourth base at some point today. Please, TaeNgGu. If you want to win an ASL... You're going to need to pay attention to this base. It's going to die. Oh my gosh, he did it. Oh my gosh. It took him like 3 minutes to realize this was happening. And by that point, it was too late. All your SCVs are in a world of hurt. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they get saved by the Marine Infantry group here with 3-3 coming in and shutting it down. All right, good. If TaeNgGu loses this base, I'm going to put a lot of it at the feet of these 10 SCVs not working for like 3 minutes. To the point that I thought the replay was broken. Nope. Wasn't broken. Just TaeNgGu forgetting he had a fourth base for a good chunk of time. A delicious chunk of time, you might say. Scan, scan, scan. There we go. 0-0 siege tanks. You know, just the sound of a siege tank firing can make a Hydra group get out of here. High ground position taken. Nice snipe on a science vessel. Looks like we might as well expand here. Nicely done. SOULKEY getting a 5th base up. Minerals only. This side of the map. Yeah, these Hydras can really keep the science vessels from just walking in and irradiating everything. Of course, they pretty much did irradiate everything anyway. So that's a bummer. Engineering Bay comes over for permanent scouting on this base and says there's 2 lurkers defending this. This feels pretty breakable. Problem is, it's 150 to 150 supply, and as a Zerg player, I'm kind of okay with that at this stage of the game. Worker count is about even. Nice Dark Swarms coming up here too. And TaeNgGu is engaging into this Dark Swarm way too much. Nice Dark Swarm on top of the tanks. Lurkers burrow on top of them. They caught some irradiates, but they have some time before they die. And they're going to kill both of those tanks with, again, 0 armor upgrades and 0 attack upgrades. No plating or anything. Alright, man. Ling's Ultras into house. Is there enough Ling Ultra? No, says SOULKEY. Not really. Just kidding. Let's jump on it. Oh, a Dark Swarm was coming in. He knew what was happening. He knew this siege tank. Kills. Does he have 8 before he dies? That's probably worth. I'm not going to complain about that. Adrenalings are on top of your tank, sir. Oh, friendly fire splash damage almost takes down a couple tanks there, but not quite enough. TaeNgGu coming down the left side. Does he have enough science vessels? It's just tough. It is really tough. When there are so many hydras out for the science vessels to be like, we got this, and then they catch a plague right to the face. They're radiating individual lurkers here, but I don't know if it's enough to stop this attack into the third base of TaeNgGu. Repair the science vessels. Defiler wiggles his way on up here, wants a secondary Dark Swarm about in this area. We better do it fast. Nice. Very nice. So then Lurker burrows in. Ka-chow. Science Vessel gets sniped. This group takes a plague. Retreats from the face of 2 Hydralisks. Could probably kill 2 Hydras, you guys. Just gonna toss. You could probably do that. Yeah, man. Dark Swarm on your base with Lurkers and Ultras. It's not happening, guys. Not happening for this base. TaeNgGu is in a lot of trouble. Might expand to this minerals only, which would be good for him to keep up economically with SOULKEY, which would leave this left side base and all these shenanigans, these low ground bases, which are really tough to hold for reasons I outlined earlier. But also, no, you're not expanding here because your SCV is dead. Can you bust this one bunker full of really injured Marines? Absolutely you can. So, I mean, the Dark Swarm feels like it was unnecessary, but, yeah, that's a lift on that command center. This command center got saved. It's on fire, though. Could be worse. Could be dead. All these workers could be toast as well. 38 SCVs do remain. And Hydras with +2 attack are easily going to take this command center down before it can get to safety. They're not really being microed, but I'm not sure that it matters. It stopped running and it's dead. Nice. 134 supply here for TaeNgGu, 144 for SOULKEY. Alright, Marines, fire bats. Oh gosh. Is there enough here? Radiate. Is there enough plague? Yes. Science vessel? No. Yeah, this base dying. TaeNgGu's on 3 bases. There is not really... There's no guide out there on Team Liquid or... Where else do you get strategies for StarCraft, right? Where, hey, you're on 3 bases to SOULKEY's 5. How do you win from here? And this just, you open the link and it just has no in the center of the page with Comic Sans. You just can't. There is not a path forward here. Unless you get some kind of mass drop where you wipe out all of the tech structures and the hive. But SOULKEY's ready for that. SOULKEY's just got a handful of hiders ready for that drop. Got lurkers here in case the drop shows up in this general area. I mean, it is tough sledding right now. Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end from TaeNgGu. He did his best. You know, anytime you can take an ASL champion at 20 minutes, you're probably doing okay. Right? I think you're doing all right as a human being. Ah, the repair on that command center was pretty sweet. Little science vessels. See them Hydras causing all sorts of problems here. These guys just allowed to kind of pick on these dudes. This is an unfair fight, but the medics are healing, providing a little bit of balance here. I don't think the SCVs could fight this nevertheless, but yeah, TaeNgGu just getting herded right now, like cattle, like a sheep. Science vessel's getting picked out of the sky. Medic energy not great at the moment, but they do save their third base. So I mean, TaeNgGu's fine? Question mark. I love this. This little truce we've got on the left side. The drone's like, all right, I won't try to expand. You don't murder me. And the Marine's like, all right. Deal, man. You got this. This tank's on the high ground position here. Going to be a little bit tough to break. Nice playing on the science vessels. Yeah, siege tanks firing away. They still have no upgrades. TaeNgGu's like, I will make tanks, yes. But I am not going to give them any upgrades at all. This third base dying again. That is a fourth base from TaeNgGu. I didn't really mention that's a fourth base, but it is. The Zerglings say, we didn't sign the peace treaty. 48 to 23 workers in favor of SOULKEY. I mean, come on. Come on. It is not looking good for TaeNgGu. And look, this is more an investigation of how well he was going to play in the face of SOULKEY on a weird map. And you know, he's holding his own. He is. He's on 4 bases at 28 minutes, which isn't like the greatest thing in the entire world, but yeah, and he, like this high ground tank stuff is great. He's completely holding off these oncoming attacks. Yeah, a couple lings die. A lurker does manage to get in here on the high ground, but it's one lurker. It's not the end of the world. Unless you see the siege tank in range of the lurker spine, which apparently TaeNgGu has just done. Third base is alive. Saved it again. Not that he has many SCVs to really populate it, but God, this group just gets caught out. Ugh. Ugh, the plague. The Hydra count. Quick, force down the 7th base of SOULKEY. That'll help us win. I mean, in a normal game, yeah, that'd be fine. It's not even the 7th base. It's like the 6th base, but still. Yeah, all these medics going down. 122 to 75 supply. Just making sure that expanding up here is really difficult are these 2 lurkers. That's their entire job. This SCV is like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed this game. It just helps the algorithm know that I'm here. Subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 100,000 subs in 2024. Hope you're enjoying the greatest game of all time, StarCraft, being cast with new matches from 2024. Come on. Back in '98, did you ever think you would see StarCraft happening in 2024? Maybe you did. I'm not sure if I thought that far ahead. Okay, third base of SOULKEY does go down. These are minor victories from TaeNgGu. It's fine. I'm not going to say this is bad, but dude, this 4th base is done. The 3rd base is on fire. There's barely any money happening here at all. SOULKEY really only has 1 base too, though. But no, that's a GG. TaeNgGu reads the writing on the wall, and bow! SOULKEY gets the win. That was something, I guess. All right. Well, what a good game. What a great game that was from SOULKEY. TaeNgGu threw a lot at him. SOULKEY played really well. A bunch of bases died. This died. This died. This pretty much died. This died. And this died. Not a good game to be a base, I gotta say. But SOULKEY just did great. +1 mutas into lurkers, into lings, into hydras. No ultralisks here. Enough hydras with the upgrades. Enough lings with the upgrades. The Dark Storm, the lurkers, the plagues were all very, very good. And TaeNgGu, I don't know if he'd upgraded his tanks if it would have made a difference for him today. I don't know. It's a tough ask. It is really, really, really a tough ask. So, all right. GG there. 235,000 points from SOULKEY, 211 for TaeNgGu. 749 to 494 units produced in favor of the Zerg got outkilled by a smaller margin. Structures raised, 10 to 5, negligible. And then outspending the Terran by 14-ish thousand resources in 30 minutes. I'd say that's enough. That's enough. Okay. Nice. Well, end of the day, guess what? That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.